So, anybody that knows me will pretty much, well, tell you that there's a couple things I like. I like knives, as proven here. Microtech SOCOM Elite. This is actually the first knife that really got me into high-end knives. Long story behind it, kind of, sort of. Last Christmas, I think it was, I almost never carry this one, just because I like it so much. And Microtechs are kind of a little more exclusive, but, I don't have any Microtech autos because in Michigan you can't own auto knives unless you have one arm, so maybe I should cut off my arm. Some of them would be worth doing that for. Then they literally cost an arm and a leg if you have to cut off a leg. But anyway, I'm getting off topic there. I'm not even on topic. 43 seconds into the video, I'm off topic. Man, I got problems. But anyway, so this is actually the first knife that really got me into high-end knives. Because it was last Christmas. I ordered it, and I ordered from Blade HQ. I get Blade HQ and Blade Ops messed up. But I ordered it from Blade HQ, and I sent a check. So that took a long time. Sending a check, obviously, because I don't have a credit card. That took longer than normal. So I had to send a check, and the check got to them, and then they sent the knife out, and then we had a really bad snowstorm, like really bad, where I had to walk to work because cars just could not get out of my subdivision at all. I mean, I had to walk. I walked the first day, and everybody was pretty much like, "You're insane." And then the second day, I was like, "Okay, now I would be insane to walk," because like we had with wind chill, it was like below 40 or something. I'm like, nah, my work is not worth it. So then finally, I think the package did come, but then we missed the delivery, so then we had to wait for it to get redelivered. It was just a whole mess, but finally it did come, and I got this and a Benchmade Grippy Tiliano, which is actually really good too. I'm like showing this from far off. You gotta get a really good look at this here. See, this is a Microtech SOCOM Elite. Look at that blade. I gotta look at the screen over here, and I'm probably like, what's he looking at? But I'm looking at the screen, so I can see what you're looking at. But yep, very, very nice. I almost never. Oh yeah, and two. The story behind this one also is I wanted a carbon fiber inlays, okay, but I think they were sold out of the carbon fiber inlays on Blade HQ, so I ordered the grippy tape version, and then they ended up sending me this, and I got the carbon fiber, and I was like, wow, okay. And then the one that I bought, it had like the Torx bits, or the Torx screws, but this one actually has the custom Microtech hardware, which I like the look of better. I mean, it's not user-friendly at all. I mean, because I don't even know if you can buy these bits, but it's not a knife that I really use. So, let's put them in the pocket. Woo! But, what was I saying about that? Oh yeah, so it's not really a knife that I'm going to use much, so I don't really have to worry about adjusting it and stuff. But anyway, so yeah, so that was my first high-end knife. I think it cost like $270 or something. Actually, I never had a knife that cost over, I think, $80. My Bradley Kimura was my most expensive knife, and then I think it was my Saga Aegis, and then down from there, like my Endurance stuff. But my Bradley Kimura cost me like $80 or something. Bradley Kimura 2 actually, and that was like my most expensive knife for a while until I got my Griptilian and the SOCOM Elite. And then I was like, oh, okay, now since I'm going to start spending money on knives, I was like, I'll buy a knife a month. And I pretty much probably have. I mean, my knife collection's just exploded. I mean, I don't even have what most people have. I mean, I can't even say, like, I have this massive knife collection. I mean, I might have like 20-ish, 20, 30-ish maybe. I mean, if you count some little itsy-bitsy ones, I mean, I got some, like $20 ones or whatever, I mean, some of the CRKT, I mean, not that CRKT is bad, but some CRKT knives, I got a bunch of those. I actually really like Spyderco's, and I didn't think I'd like Spyderco. But anyway, so yeah, anybody who knows me will tell you that I like knives. I like me music and games, pretty much. I'm just like a normal person, except my tastes kind of vary, I guess. Whereas most people, this chair's not moving. Okay, as where most people like all the modern pop music. I'm not saying that modern music is bad at all. I mean, because a lot of the music that I like is modern, but it's not, you can't really flip on the radio and hear it. I mean, okay, flip on the radio, like a normal radio station, not like internet radio. I mean, internet radio, you got infinite possibilities, okay? I'm talking about a good old-fashioned radio station on your car, son, which is all that I listen to because I got 2000 something Chevy Ventura. I don't know what year it is, but I mean it's an old van. Which I actually thought something cool about vans. You know, normally well, anyway, I'll get into that in a second. But with the van, I mean, all I got is a radio. I don't even have a CD player. I don't have anything so I can hook my phone into my iPhone into it and listen to my internet radio or the music I got on my phone. So either I'm stuck having my phone set up like on a dash. I'm like, this is safe. You know, where are the cops around when you need them to see you like changing the song on your phone? I can even pause the song on my phone without almost getting into a crash. So there's no way I could text, and I don't text anybody. So, anywho, so I was thinking about vans. Like, you know, normally in spy movies like James Bond or stuff, you know, you got like the Aston Martin and like these spy cars, like these really expensive sports cars, and then you think something like, oh, you know, like a minivan or like, you know, something that you could carry your whole family, and that's not tactical. I mean, I don't even know what I'm saying by this, okay? Because I'm weird. I think of weird stuff. But it's not like a tactical car or like a cool spy car. Then I started thinking, actually, a minivan like that would be a good spy car because you could hold a ton of stuff in it. And like, you could truck around all your gear. I mean, even like a full-size van would be good. Like, you know, one of the big boxy, you know, vans, like they got Mission Impossible. I mean, I'm talking about like the Mission Impossible game. I mean, like, you know, any surveillance van, you know, whatever. The Mission Impossible Operation Samar, whatever it is. I don't know. The game for the GameCube and the Game Boy Advance. The GameCube one's great. Good fist combat in there. Better than Sam Fisher. Sam Fisher's, you know, like that. Ethan Hunt is, you know, punch. But Game Boy Advance one is, wow, really bad. Like, wow. I mean, like, really bad. I mean, I haven't played it forever, and that's why. But anyway, so, yeah, and also, the one thing that I liked about vans, I mean, just now I viewed them differently. I mean, it's like, does it have a realistic application? Absolutely not. I mean, I'm sure there's, like, no application for this in real life. But, if you ever seen Mr. and Mrs. Smith, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, they get into the car chase in there, and they got a little van, or I'm probably using, they're like minivans or whatever they are, a van. And what's nice about that is then you open up the doors, open up the back, and you got full range to shoot everywhere. And I'm like, that's cool. You know, when in a car you gotta like lean out a window, and you can't get that much accuracy that way. Here I am knowing like nothing about guns and stuff, and I'm talking about accuracy, and like, you know, leaning out of a car with the door open is like a good way to get accuracy while it's moving 75 miles an hour down the freeway and you're dodging left and right. Yep. That's A+ for you. But anyway, so my music. Oh yeah, so I was saying, get off topic again. Okay, 8 minutes, so we can be off topic now. We haven't even got on topic yet. Anyway, so the music, yeah, so I'm like scrambled. I'm tired. Excuse me. Pardon me for being tired, for waking up at 3 o'clock in the morning, working an 8-hour shift. And, no, I'm not going to talk about my work. Anyway, so yeah, turn on any radio station, and if you can hear anything by Less Friction, especially Less Friction, Yuki Kadra, Icon for Hire, you might be able to hear some stuff from Evanescence, Within Temptation, unless you turn on like some rock station, which we don't got around here, because around here we got a bunch of country stations, which country music ain't bad really, but it's not my first choice. I mean, it's not my first choice. Not really my second, or third, or fourth, but every now and then I'll hear a country song that's like, yeah, that's good. But, so anyway, yeah, turn on here, like, you know, Less Friction, Icon for Hire, Evanescence, Within Temptation, what other ones are that I like? Excuse me, I check on my phone, but that's what I'm recording on, so I can't check all my music lists. There's gotta be more. I mean, I like more than that. But see, anyway, those aren't like, you know, they didn't come in like the 1980s, or, you know, they're not like old groups, but, or bands, or music-ish companies, or whatever, but still, it's oddball, not oddball stuff, but, no one nowadays is really gonna be listening to it, so anyway, enough of that. So anyway, that's almost in my mouth. Oh man. So, and my nose is, ugh. I took a shower and I like ate, and then what else did I do? Then I came in here and recorded a video. So I woke up, worked, came home, took a shower, ate, and recorded a video now. my life is so exciting because I have absolutely no friends whatsoever, which there's nobody even out there that I'd even be semi-interested in being friends with. Everybody that I tried, I might have covered this before, but I had a Facebook account. I call it account because most people are Facebook page. I don't care what sort of modern term you use for it. Facebook account. It's not a page, it's an account, at least with me. I got a YouTube account, I got my email account, I got a Facebook account. I did. Because I deleted my Facebook account. Because it was pretty much useless. Like I said, I got it, and I was just friends with everybody at work, and I realized I hate people at work. So I deleted it. I think I was friends with like 2 or 3 people that I didn't work with, and like half of them actually worked there at one time. So technically, I'm like, I don't like people that much. It's just drama. Drama drives me nuts. Anyway, so we were talking about Facebook, yeah. So I deleted it, and I was like, goodbye. Because I actually got into a not like a heated argument, but I had like this. I did a long rant, like my final Facebook post, and there was actually a guy that I used to work with, and he commented on it, like a whole thing the same length as mine. And then I was like, I'm done. I mean, it's like, I'm done arguing with people, and nobody sees my views because it was a lot of stuff about, I don't even know what, I got it somewhere. I saved it in a text document because I'm like, this is pure gold. I mean, I thought it was at the time. Probably looking back on that, I'd be like, oh my god, I wrote this online. But it's immortalized forever. I mean, even though technically I deleted my page, and it wasn't even like a soft delete, like, well, you could come back to it if you want. I was like, no, just wipe it off the face of the earth. Is it still on the Facebook service? Probably, but who cares? I mean, I'm not like, I didn't, there's not stuff up there I'm like, oh, if somebody finds out about this, I'm not going to be able to, oh, it's going to be bad. It's like, I don't have pictures of me drunk on there. Yeah, so I keep doing this. Shrug, 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 shrug. It's probably getting very annoying in my hands on screen. Squeaky, squeaky. Citizen Nighthawk. Skyhawk. No, Nighthawk? Nighthawk. Nighthawk, yeah. Citizen Nighthawk. The Skyhawk is a big wash. But, so yeah, I don't like people, really. Or most modern stuff. But anyway, so now getting on topic to what we were talking about. Another thing that people will tell you about me, people that know me, which is my family, I have such an exciting life, don't I? Work, come home, spend money, sleep. I spent a ton of money the other day on something that you probably will see sooner or later, so I ain't even going to tell you about it. Bought it Monday, shipped yesterday, is in transit today, and should be arriving tomorrow. Free shipping, too. Gotta love modern day shipping and stuff. But anyway, so another thing that people will tell me about you, tell you about me, is that I used to be into games a ton, like video games, but by being into them, I mean like GameCube, Game Boy Advance, and like some computer, whatever my computer could really run. Other than that, and DS. Other than that, I really don't play many other video games because first of all, I don't have any other systems. And second of all, most of the modern stuff I just don't, they're all just shoot 'em up like that. And I don't get into them really. I mean, because they're fun, but after a while it's just like they're all the same. And at first they were cool because I remember when I first got Modern Warfare 2. I bought I bought Modern Warfare 2, Call of Duty 4, and World at War. I forget which one I played at first, but when I remember playing Modern Warfare 2, and one of like the first missions, or like the first mission after training or whatever, I remember. But I was like, wow, this is so cool, it's really realistic, because up to then, the most realistic shooter I had was probably either, excuse me, just for eating too quick. Nice and slightly on the internet, I guess, I don't know. But, and the only modern game that I really had up to then was either maybe Battlefield 2, or like Time Splitters 2, or Nightfire for the GameCube. Those aren't really like, realistic shooters. I mean, by nowadays standards, back then they were cool and they're still fun, but by modern day ratings, no, they're not. So when I got Modern Warfare 2, I was like, wow, this is so cool. And then Call of Duty 4 was cool, and then I realized all modern shooters are kind of the same now. All Call of Duties are the same. Any shooter that comes out nowadays is pretty much the same, no matter how much. I mean, unless they put in like some really weird twists on it, like maybe Titanfall would be a little bit different, but it's still not. I mean, it's not that much different. I mean, all games now are just first-person shooters. Back then, I was like, Yeah, and I'm a first-person shooter nut. I love first-person shooters. Before first-person shooters were cool, I guess. I mean, I'm not saying that I was, oh, I liked them before they were cool. I mean, I'm just saying before, like, Call of Duty and stuff was even popular, or even, I think probably before even Call of Duty 4 was out. When did Call of Duty 4 come out? 2007, maybe? I don't know. I like first-person shooters. I like first-person shooters on a Game Boy Advance. I don't have all of them. I mean, I don't even have a lot of them, but I like them because it's a handheld and you got a first-person shooter on there. I mean, come on, really? But, I mean, it's like, boss. But the thing about the modern, like I gotta say, the modern first-person shooters are all the same, and also, like, third-person games, they all seem like they're going by the same sort of style. I mean, the new Splinter Cell games, like, was it Blacklist? I don't even know. I lose track of the stuff. The first Splinter Cell was awesome. Second one was pretty good because, see, that's the thing, too. First Splinter Cell had great frame rate, in my opinion. I'm not one really with graphics, where I'm like, oh, the graphics are the best, or oh, this game has awful graphics. I'm not really when I judge this games by that. But the first Splinter Cell had really good graphics. They were really smooth, and it seemed like the frame rate was superb. I remember there was one mission in a flaming building, the camera or the screen of the whole building kind of shakes, and it's like, yes! I mean, back then, I mean, that was so smooth, and it was awesome. But, and in Pandora Tomorrow, it added in a bunch of new stuff, but then it seems like it kind of took the graphics and kind of brought them down a bit, which isn't too bad, I guess. And then, Chaos Theory for the GameCube, that was good, but there's something up about it. I don't know what it was. I think, from what I heard, that the GameCube one they took some stuff out of, or I don't really know, but I mean, it's still a fun game. It was Splinter Cell. I would like to get Double Agent because it seems like, I mean, most people, from what I've heard, they tout Chaos Theory as the best Splinter Cell in the series, which, I mean, it probably deserves it. It got a ton of extra moves and stuff that you can do without being, like, too run-and-gun crazy. Double Agent seems like it would still kind of be like that a bit, it seems a little more, like, shooter-ish or more action-y packed, but still kind of stealthy. But then after that, like, was it Conviction and Blacklist? Those are just, let's take all the Splinter Cell rules and just send them to the wind. But, and that's kind of how it seems like with the first-person shooters. Like, let's add in where you can free run, and then, like in Splinter Cell, you can free run, and then you can, like, do all these crazy moves and, like, do all these slow-motion execution-style moves. I'm like, whatever happened to sitting in a hallway watching a guard walk up and down the hallway for like 20 minutes trying to decide, is he going to move a different way? Can I get it? Back when I was playing the original Splinter Cell game, I was terrified. That game was terrifying because you'd be there and it's like, is the guard going to see me? Is the guard going to see me? Is the guard going to see me? But now you realize he's on a set pattern. He's not going to see ya unless like you do something stupid. And most of the time you just have to see the guard's pattern once and it's like, okay, now I can just run past him and you're set. But modern day games, not like they have all these AIs and stuff, so you can't, I mean, it makes the games more realistic. But I'm like, if you want something realistic, go outside and play football. I don't play football. But they're trying to make games more realistic nowadays, and sometimes it's better just to go back to the old goody, we're up to 18 minutes already, we haven't even started talking about what we want to talk about. Well, we're kind of on track, but anyway, so, like, getting on track now. Alright, I like Game Boy Advance games. In my opinion, the best gaming system in the world is the Game Boy Advance. It has some of the best games on it. It has Metro Zero Mission, end of story, you just need Metro Zero Mission, you're set. You don't need another game, you just need Metro Zero Mission. And Fusion. Okay, great games. But some of the best games on the Game Boy Advance, so it's fair, and I'm not just like, Zero Mission's the best, forget it. I mean, it's worth getting a Game Boy Advance just for that. Just like it's worth getting a PSP for, well, there's a lot of games, a couple games on PSP that are good, but like Burnout Legends or Rengoku 2, Peace Walker, especially Rengoku 2, get it just for that. But the Game Boy Advance SP, it has a lot of games, or at least some of my favorite games on it. Like, okay, let's start naming them. So, we got Zero Mission, we got Fusion, we got Superstar Saga, Mario & Luigi Superstar Saga, you got Advance Wars 2, Super Robot Taisen 1 and 2, or Taisen, however you say it. You have Yoshi's Island, which we'll get into that in a second. You have Doom 2, which is a the best first-person shooter on a handheld, if not the best first-person shooter, period. But there's a story behind that. I got a fake copy. I got 2 fake copies, and I'm ticked. I gotta track down a real copy somewhere. But so anyway, there's a lot of good games on the Game Boy Advance, as you can probably tell. Now, I've legally on an emulator played a Pokemon game, and I hate it. I'm not one for Pokemon really, or like RPGs and stuff like that. Let's crack my neck. I got a headache and like an eye ache. It's probably from being up so early. Anyway, so I'm not one that really likes RPGs like Final Fantasy. Don't get into that. Haven't, probably never will. Pokemon, no. Most of those type of games I never really get into. Legend of Zelda, I played one game. I don't really get into many of the Mario games. I mean, like, not that they're bad. I mean, I've played a couple, but, it's not me. I like some of the off titles. It's not like, you get Zelda, you get Mario, you get Pokemon, and you're set. And it's like, yeah, I get Doom, I get a Japanese, like, import of a game, like, Super Robot Tyson, and I get Zero Mission, and that's me. Oh, what are those games? They're the games I like to play, and, too bad if you don't like them. But, so anyway, so what I did recently is, I never used to like buying used games, alright? I always used to buy games new, for some reason. But then I started to realize, hey, a lot of these games, you can get new still if you want to pay, like, $400 for a game. I mean, depending on what game it is, you can pay like $50, $80, $100. And it's not like, and it's not that I have the money for it, because I'd be poor if I did that. I could probably buy 1 or 2 games like that and I'd be poor. But it's not that I couldn't really do it. Sure, you could save up and buy a new, but it's like, it is kind of a waste now buying the used games, or not used games, but old games that, that old, for that much money, when you can buy a used copy for like $5. And it's like, if you're going to open it up anyway, back when, like, GameStop was telling you, oh, buy this game used for $2 less. And I'm like, no, I can buy it new for the $2 extra. And, I'm not buying a new game every week. Well, I was at one time, but I'm not. I stopped doing that. So I was like, I'll spend the $2 and get a new copy, a fresh copy that you can unshrink wrap yourself, because that's part of the fun of it, having a shrink wrap copy of the game. But then I started realizing this isn't going to work for a lot of old games. So then I started going on the eBays. And on the eBays, you can get some very good deals on some older games that are in great condition, and, I mean, very good games, and for not that much money, like $10 maybe at the most. Maybe you'll spend like 20. I can't remember out of the games I'm going to show you here, which are off to the side, which you can't see. Woo! Probably the most I spent was like, I think The Legend of Zelda Minish Cap maybe was like 20 or something like that. But none of them were really expensive. So, for the price of like one game, and plus modern day games are like $60. And I'm like, I'm not going to spend $60 for one game. I mean, the most I think I spent for a game was $50, and that was GoldenEye Rogue Agent when it first came out on a GameCube when I had $50 to spend, and it was my $50 I got from my grandma, and it was my first GameCube game I ever bought. So I can justify that. After that, I don't want to spend that much on a game, because a single game is not worth that much, at least to me. A lot of other stuff I'll just splurge money on like crazy, like the knives, my Micro Attack, or Hinder, Strider, all the other ones I got. I don't have. I got one Hinder, one Strider, one Sabenza. Those I splurged on. Those were expensive, but in my opinion, that was worth it. Modern day games aren't worth that much, in my opinion, at least right now. I like buying last gen games for dirt cheap. Like, I'd buy a PlayStation 3 and then buy a bunch of games for that now, if I could, if I ever get around to it, if I even have the time. I keep shrugging. I don't know why. I got like a nervous twitch. Comes from working where I work. It's killing me. So, the games that I bought recently, my recent game pickups, have all been for the Game Boy Advance. I got some GameCube games too, but those are another story. Like Resident Evil 4, which people said were good. People said were good. People said was a good game. I got it, and it is a very, very good game. That's one game that, like, it lived up to the hype. Most other games I find, like, oh, this is the best game. It's like, nah, it isn't. But Resident Evil 4 was. I got Nemesis, Resident Evil 3 Nemesis. That's a good game. What was the other one? Chaos Theory. Metal Arms Glitch in the System, which I wanted for quite a while. And I finally got it. And that's actually a pretty fun game. I mean, if I would have... It's a fun game now, but not as fun as it would have been if I would have bought it, like, let's say, 10 years ago. I would have been 10. I think I'm 20. I think I'm 20. I don't know how old I am. I think I'm 20. Yes, I am 20. 94. 94, 2004, 2014. Yeah, I'm 20. And people ask me my age and like, how old are you? I'm like, well, I'm 20. Yeah, it takes me a while. Like, what's your name? Because, stuff that like subconsciously, like, how old you are, you don't say all the time. I mean, unless you do tell people, "Oh, I'm 20, I'm 20, I'm 20." You know, so kind of subconsciously you know it, but sometimes it'll take you a second, and it can almost seem like you're faking. You know, like sign your autograph, you know, or sign here, and you're like, "Oh, no, not this way. Got it." You know, it'll take you forever to sign. You know, like I was at the bank the other day, and well, I mean, I was able to sign my name fine, obviously, because who doesn't? But sometimes you just get tired anyway. And I hate those little slippery pads they got. But so I don't know what we were talking about. Oh yeah, if I would have bought games, a while. Well, a lot of these games would have been awesome, and I would have just played the living daylights out of them if I would have bought them like a couple of years ago. But now I just buy stuff, play it, and I'm done. But unfortunately, that's how it is. But still, I'm enjoying some of them. So anyway, my recent gamies. Let's scoot up here. So we're gonna get right in your face and shake the camera. Shake the living holy camera out of the camera. All right. So we got 6 games we're going to talk about. First of all, nice cobalt blue game. I did it again. My knee's like kicking into it. Nice cobalt blue Game Boy Advance. I bought a second Game Boy Advance just because Game Boy Advances are completely and totally awesome. And I wanted a backup system. And it was only like $40, and I was buying some other stuff from the guy, so I decided to pick it up. This one actually seems like, it's in very good condition. I got it. Did I say $40? Yeah, it was $40. As you can see, there's some scratches on the top, but it's used and in the condition it's in. It's great. It plays the game's fine. For $40, it's not that bad actually. Game Boy Advances were $100 when they came out, and considering that, well, I can't say when it came out. I remember I paid like $100 for mine, and I still got my original one. My mom has a girlfriend, and her girlfriend has a daughter, and her daughter had a DS. I think an original DS. When we saw her one time. The next time we saw her, she said that she sold it to buy like another system. That's stupid. Don't ever sell your game systems unless you absolutely need to cash when you're done playing games. But if you're still like a gamer, I sold, I think, 2 of my games. And that was Metroid Zero Mission and Metroid Fusion. When I thought they were giving me nightmares. And I bought them back because I made a stupid decision. I regretted that because I sold both of them. I paid like $30 for like each of them when I bought them. Then I sold both of them. And it gave me like $7, and that was enough to buy... what was the game? Hot Wheels World Race or something like that. It was a Hot Wheels game, and I'm like, really? That was absolutely a terrible trade-off. So, getting back to it. Blue Cobalt DS. DS, yes, this is a Nintendo DS. Look at the dual screens on it. Ooh, look at me. Oh, an Infinity. Oh boy, an Infinity box. This is going to be cool. Okay, so I got that for $40. And the games I got. You want to do these in any order? Okay. Well, first of all, we'll start out. This isn't in like the order I bought them, but who cares? All right, I got Yoshi's Island, and it's backwards in my viewfinder, but who cares? Yoshi's Island for the Game Boy Advance. I had a bootleg copy of this a while ago, and this and Doom 2 I had bootleg copies of because I ordered from Portable Games Store, which I don't even think is in existence anymore. But this is like one of the few Mario games I actually really like because you don't play as Mario. You play as Yoshi with screaming, whining Mario on your back. But it was actually a very good platformer, a really long game from what I remember. It was a blast to go through. I miss those days. But so I bought another copy, and this one is from the best that I can tell, I think, real. Because like if you look on the corner, you probably can't see it, but right by my finger there's like indentations and numbers. That's kind of a sign that it's real, and you can check some stuff inside. It seems legit. All these seem legit, But and that's the thing too about buying used games is you got to worry about, getting a bootleg copy again. But I got to track down a Doom 2 somewhere. Or an original Doom, because Doom 2 was the epic on the Game Boy Advance. That would, in my opinion, rival Zero Mission. I hate to say that there's a game that can rival Zero Mission, but Doom 2 is the game. Just for the sheer, this is totally awesome factor of it. So, we have Yoshi's Island. And there's no way I can set these up so you can really see them. So, anyway, Yoshi's Island. Let's get the next Mario game out of the way, because there's only 2 Mario games. This is Mario vs. Donkey Kong. Now, Mario vs. Donkey Kong is a puzzle game, in case you didn't know, and I'm not going to explain everything about it, but and this one I can't see the number mark on it. Not really well, ugly. So, I'm a little bit... Oh, wait. I'm a little bit hesitant about the legitimacy of this, if it's legitimate or not, okay? I'm a little bit hesitant about if it is or not. I guess it would be because I bought it from a seller, and I can't remember which other games I exactly bought with this one, but the other games I got are legit. from what I can tell. So I'd be guessing this is, but you know, one of those. But it's a puzzle game, and I don't normally like puzzle games, but my brother bought this a long time ago, like when it first came out, and I think he actually bought it like on the 4th of July or the day before the 4th of July, and we waited in Sam's Club for like, in line in Sam's Club for like probably 45 minutes, because the line was so long, because we misjudged the time that the store opened. We got there, and all sorts of people were shopping for the 4th of July. So we got pretty much screwed over. But we got this in like Bob the Builder castle building game thingy for the computer, which I should do a review on because it's that stupid. I should review our old, we got some like 98 games for the computer, which would be awesome to review. Like Putt Putt, Freddy Fish, Bob the Builder. We got some PlayStation games like Bob the Builder. These would be awesome games to review. I could review the living daylights out of them. But anyway, so there's that. And then we got ourselves, well, I showed this before, The Legend of Zelda Minish Cap. I am currently playing this. This is actually pretty fun. I normally don't like Zelda games, but this was the only Legend of Zelda game really that I saw, and I was like, okay, I want to play that game. Because I remember being on a tester somewhere, in like a Myers or something, you know, back when they actually had game testers, and they weren't destroyed like the DSs. I feel so bad for those poor DSs when the screens are all scratched up because the stylus has popped off and people still use like the wires they were connected to for the touchscreen. You get like this white patch. I feel so sorry for those DSs. I hope they're in video game heaven somewhere, prancing around with all the copies of Nintendogs that they can find. Forget Nintendogs. I should review that. But yeah, so it's actually pretty fun. I mean, I'm not really a huge fan of the Legend of Zelda games, but this is one that's fun. I probably won't play any other Legend of Zelda games. I mean, I might eventually, but probably not. It's not really my sort of style game. I don't even know what is my sort of style game. And then we got Block Tie, The Sun Is In Your Hand. It was a fun game, kind of a little, not shallow, it was kind of quick. And it wasn't really like, it didn't progress too far. Like, you start a game, and then, you know, they teach you stuff, and then it didn't seem like it got as deep as it could have gone. Not that I'm into really deep games, but what's fun about this, it had the solar sensor somewhere, right? Maybe. Oh wait, it's actually down here on this side. I'm sorry. And that was actually a pretty fun aspect of it. You only really needed it, I found, when you had to fight the bosses, because other than that, you could just find solar specks everywhere else. But there were a lot of functions about the game that they never really used, like. Just stuff that they could have really expanded on, and I know there's a Block Tie 2. That might be better. I'll probably never play that, but you know, stuff. All right, my last two games. I played a bit of it. I have not, probably nor will finish it or play it that much, but I bought it just for the fact of it, and that is Wolfenstein 3D. Wolfenstein, for all you stupid people who can't tell I'm joking, and it is actually rated M, as you can see. One of the few Game Boy Advance games that are rated M. I know there is a Mortal Kombat game that's rated M. I think Max Payne. Oh, I can't remember any other games that are M rated. But this is actually, it's kind of an odd game because I believe it's a port of a computer or like an old DOS game. Anybody remember DOS? Neither do I. Kind of before my time. But it's a little odd in the fact that it seems really easy to die, and it's just kind of off. But still, it's a first-person shooter on a Game Boy Advance, and I applaud them because this came out, I believe it was like right at the beginning. It doesn't say when it came out. Nope, it doesn't. It's licensed by Nintendo. But this came out near the beginning, near the inception of the Game Boy Advance, and for being a 3D shooter, you gotta applaud it. Alright, now the last one, which I'm kind of interested to play, and I haven't played any other games from this series, and it's embarrassing. I know this is like on, I don't know, game trailers. Back in I went on the game trailers, and game trailers was cool. This is like one of the game series on their top 10, like don't catch anybody you play, don't anybody catch you playing these games. Just like, don't anybody catch you playing Animal Crossing, or I think, was it the Dead or Alive series? One of those, the beach volleyball, those fun ones. Back when it was like, oh my god, this is so terrible, and now it's just like, yeah, you see the stuff they put in movies and games now, and you're like, oh, this old stuff is like, yeah. So, this is actually Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memory. Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memory. I've never played a Kingdom Hearts game before. This one actually looked fun because it's the second Kingdom Hearts game in the series. The first one was on a PlayStation. I know nothing really about the series, and it sounds like they're confusing us all get out, just like Final Fantasy. But it was the second Kingdom Hearts game, so it was weird that it went from the PlayStation and they put it onto the Game Boy Advance. I believe they actually ported this then onto like the PlayStation 2 or something, which is funny because it's a handheld game. I'm speaking from like stuff I might have heard. You know, it might be true, it might not be, and I'm not like it's rumored because there's facts about the stuff. I just don't know the facts, so don't hold me true to anything. Okay, but I just shook the camera again. Poor little. Whee! Okay, but. And this actually has full motion video. It doesn't really have talking, but it has full motion video, which is amazing on the Game Boy Advance, especially this came out in like 2001 or something. So, I mean, it's amazing to have that on there. It plus looked like a pretty fun battling system, kind of like a Mega Man type battling system, where you go around a world and when you run into an enemy, then you go into a kind of more of a battle arena. And then instead of in Mega Man where you use chips to battle, which Mega Man Battle Network 6 was actually pretty fun. Wasn't the only Mega Man Battle Network game I played. I played that in Mega Man 04, but that was actually a pretty fun game. Mega Man Battle Network 6. Yeah, I hunted all over the airport. I mean, by hunting all over the airport, I mean my mom did, and then had to drive us to a Toys R Us like half an hour away, so I could get like the only copy they had because it was too stupid to order it online. But that's actually a pretty big game. I mean, I think it was anyway. I still haven't unlocked everything. And I reset it because I'm like, I'm going to replay the game again. And it's like, it's just been sitting there for like a couple of years since I played it last. So why leave my only... I don't like games with just one save file. But I was like, I'll delete my save file and redo the game. And I started again. I was like, oh, I'm done with this. I played it, but, you know, it's one of those things. But, so it kind of got that sort of style but instead of chips, you use cards, which is okay. But, so after I'm done with playing Zelda, I'm going to start that, which will be fun. And this is what a... Oh, man, I just shook it again. This is what a completely useless guy that does not go out with people on the weekends or Friday or any of that stuff does in his spare time. He plays Game Boy Advance games and makes YouTube videos and thinks about what the next knife is that he's going to purchase, and also thinks about just spending money on random junk. That's all that I do. Probably, until I can figure something else out. I could get a second job and really work myself to death. Okay, we've been going on for 37 minutes. This is probably one of the longest videos I've ever made, and it's completely, absolutely useless. If you have stuck around for the entirety of the video, I applaud you. Give yourself an applause. How do basics applause? Look at those big hands. My hands are so large. So... that's enough for today. 37 minutes. Yep. So we got our little thingies. Let's see. Let's see, I'm going to try to do this. There we go. Oh, this is impossible to do. I wish I had like a rear-facing camera that didn't record in like HD, so yeah, whatever. I was going to buy another camera. Hopefully I can upload this video because the last two videos I recorded on my phone here, I almost lost both of them because of stupid uploading stuff. But hopefully that doesn't happen this time because I want to upload the video. Goodbye. I'm trying to push a button. I can't play this upside down. Oh yeah, here's what's boss about this. Cloud9. Yes, I called my guy Cloud9 for absolutely bossness. Goodbye.